Good morning, students. Today we will see the public cloud platforms what we are using. In yesterday's class, we discussed about what is a public cloud, and we have seen several public clouds, what the models they are supporting, and we have also gone through the a diagrammatical representation which helps us to process, and also it is providing the data, or it is providing a architecture how the individual users or the organizational users will have the capability of accessing these things. We have in this session, we will see public clouds. Already we discussed service offerings under public clouds. We have the three different public cloud architectures or the public cloud examples here. The first one is the Google App Engine, and the second one is the Web Service AWS, which is provided by the Amazon, and then next and the last one is the Microsoft's Azure. So today we will see what they are providing, what is the architecture, and we will see in fact what the services they are providing, and how these customers or how the people are benefiting. All these things will be specified here. So coming to the first representation, Google App Engine. So here we know about the Google. So for you want to know any information about anything, first what you do is nothing but, if you don't know about that thing, what we will do, we will simply go for the that is a software what you are having, sorry, search engine what you are having. On the search engine we will choose the Google. So we will type the things, that is any message or anything. What we are getting here is we are getting the date, that information about that thing. Not only the information, keen information what you are getting, but it is also providing the several articles which has been discussed about the thing what you are requested for. So that's why Google what it is doing is it is providing the facilities which are the search engine facilities here. Apart from that, what it is doing is it is providing the data processing also to be done, and also the data centers has to be maintained by that one, because when you are requesting anything, what it is it is providing the data apart from the environment. It is not restricting the user that you can load your data, you can store your data here only, this environment people only store the data. Not like that. What it is doing, it is completely giving the environment, what the environment will be, whatever the technology will be, and it also supporting multiple languages also. All these things will be coming to account. For this thing, what it has to do is nothing but it need to maintain the data in a place where it is not been very easily accessible, and also there is no worry to that is maintain all these things. For that, what they have done is they have just maintained a data center, and they to access the data center to provide the data, all these things. What it has done is designed the from programming models, and also the data centers what it has chosen here is a very means, if you see many acres of the place has been used for to store only the data. And why we are using this one means, the things what it is choosing, or what it is for searching here is providing each and every data, and it is not giving that I don't have the information about that thing. If you that is if you wrongly enter the word, or also what it is suggesting some things you want to search for this one, or like that he wants to show the articles, all the data what it is from the past decades, the past centuries also it want to, where the computing has to came to existence. The Google has maintaining all these things when to be existed and to be accessed by the user. So the worldwide what it is using the data centers has to be installed. So the Google has chosen hundreds of the data center has to be installed, which has been using approximately 5 lakh servers for processing. Why? Because here is, if you are having an example of a processing a cloud application, a customer or any user or any organization may have the capability or the possibility of using 200 Google data centers at a time, because the data what it is being sent or what it has been stored by the others will be accessed here. So that's why what it is doing is it is maintaining even more, even massive data processing is there now. That's why it is maintaining even more servers to process the data. So what could be the data here? So the data or the you can specify when you are researching for a word or anything or any representation. It is not simply presenting the articles what you are having. It is giving that is all will be there. That is first it will see it will give the articles what it is supporting, and then next if it is have any wiki page, it is displaying the wiki page on the right side. And also you have the images and text format. It is presenting the videos if it is been discussed in the news or any particular representations is there. All these things has to be collected and has to be stored in that one. Why? Because we are using, why? Because you are using that much of data centers here is whenever you are searching for a data, what it is presenting, it is not presenting the textual information, it is also presenting what the images you are having and what the videos it is presenting, and also the news what it is having, and the remaining things what it is collected collectively apparently supported to that one will be displayed on your that is web search engine. You need to select the option and then next you have to go for that one. So here to maintain all these things we must need the more space, and we must specify all these things into a data center only. That's why to application, if you want to take the application into an account, the application also be takes the that much of the spaces only. The modules the historical data which has been processed by the previous any day, any problem has been occurred, how these people has been overcome by these things, all these things will to come into an account and process these things into a manner that is any user can access that one very means keenly. Yeah, that is a processing. So if you take the what would be the means mechanism or anything what you are using here is we are using the map reduce. So here map reduce means if we are discussed earlier we are seeing we are having some data. In that data what we are doing is we are first we need to split the data. In that split, after splitting what you have to do here is we need to group the data which are having the common elements or the common things here. So here in each and every word there is in each and every the data set there is a bread means what you are doing. So what it has to do is nothing but the bread has been separated from that one and it has been created and stored in a different space. And also we need to make them merge into the form. That is however you are using any type of the elements or any type of the data, what I have to do is nothing but if you are using map reduce, first it has to map, that is it will split up that one and reduce that one. How it is going to reduce that means from you having data 10 data items or the 10 data which in the rows. So you are having the bread element as a 6 times in 6 rows. So what it is doing is apart from mentioning or apart from defining all these things in this one, what you have to do is nothing but we have to place that bread element has been used 6 times in this data set. That's all. Has been represented like this. That is the way we are using the Google App Engine. So here the Google App Engine is offering past here in yesterday's class also I described what it is using, and it is also supporting the SaaS, and it is being given by these G Suite or the Gmail logins what you are using. There you have the accessibility of these softwares what you are using. So the first going to this Google App Engine, this Google App Engine supports PaaS platform, that is platform as a service platform, that is a service platform, and also what it is doing is it is supporting various cloud environments and also supports the various web applications too. Coming to the cloud infrastructure, in this cloud infrastructure we need to use these cloud. Why we use this cloud development to be in a leveraging format here is, as I said, to develop or to process any simple one, we need many data centers to be present and to be processed on this thing. So for that, what could be the cloud services here? Means why I need to maintain that say the data centers, means we have been seen some examples also, and here it is giving the services like Gmail, Docs, Earth, all these things was being into this. So we need to maintain the things that the updations has to be done, and it has to maintain when you are taking the Google Earth or the maps into an account, it is giving multiple representations to be means if you want to do the satellite version or the normal version or the traffic version or the all these things will come into an account when you are dealing with that one. So how it is going to access, how it is going to provide here is we need to maintain these things on the data centers, and also supports some multiple applications to be used by the others. For example, see the Google Docs. So in our class we are having the 100 people. The 100 people are using Google Docs. Take it as an example. So if we are using Google Docs as an example, what it is doing, it is simply taking Google Docs, means you are creating only one Word file. It's not the thing. So you are using multiple files to be existed with that one. I may use only 2 files. You may use some 100 files to be with you, and some may use some plenty of the files to be accessed with you. All these things will come into an account when we are dealing with this thing. So that's why what you have to do, we need to take the data centers to be available with us, because we have the plenty of the data to store on that one. Apart from these, what is the important factor it is supporting here is the it should be with the high availability. High availability means simply 24/7 has to be processed. There is a concept called the storing of the data in the multiple locations. Why we need to store the data in the multiple locations means when you are when you are dealing with your simple phone or anything, if you want to store any data, what you will do, you will store on phone and you will go for your laptop and so on, and again you will attach these files to your Google that is your G drive what you are having, or OneDrive, or any Microsoft drives, all these things, any drives you are having, you will take the accessibility of these drives and you will store the data. Simply you are storing, simply that is maybe that yeah, the data is important to you only, but the others won't need the data. But you are taking the accessibility of all these things to store your data, because you don't want to lose the data in future purpose. So that's why if you are processing the data on the applications or any projects or on from the organizational end, any different ends, what we need to do here is we need to maintain the data on the multiple locations here. Why? Because here is the data centers what you are chosen will be have the downtime, or it will be crashed, or some problem will occur. So we don't need to stop our processing, stop the task processing or anything. What you have to do is nothing, but this has to be made available. What one component has been failed, or one component has been crashed, then this component's failure won't affect the others one also, because the components what you are using has been isolated. They have their own environment, they have their own capacity, own controlling all these things with their own. Likewise, we have to maintain the multiple locations, multiple servers to access the data. If you have been lost the data, lost the connection, or the lost the processing with this one location, you will be able to access from another location. Then there is no any problem. That makes the system or the cloud availability here. We are not simply telling that availability, we are taking the word as the high availability. When we are dealing with a cloud, it should be high available. And this is the architecture we are having. So here, if you see, so we are maintaining multiple things into processing here. So user has been connected to this cloud. The cloud been using some application, that is you has been invented processing through the application here. So what could it be it the technologies or the achievements include here is it is having the GFS. If you see here, if you see here now, that is in the node, it is maintaining some representations here. Each and every node have the this representations with us. So what it is taking into an account, So it is specifying what are the building blocks of the cloud platform which has been used for this delivery of these cloud services for the user. So what the user will do? User will connect to that cloud. Okay. The cloud infrastructure is having nodes. Nodes are there. Nodes means the node can be a server, or if you specify, the node can be a simple your user representation, or if you any representations if you say can be used in this one. And also we are having a scheduler. What is a scheduler will do? So he will schedule the works of the things what you are having in that processing, who are the users connected, what the processings in that one, all these things into coming to an account here. And also we are having a GFS master. So what is the GFS master here is, GFS stands for the Google File System. So the Google File System is used for storing the large amount here. So here we are having a new term called the chubby. So here the chubby is represented as a interface and also an API, which is for the means acts like the small file storage also. Means it is having the locking and then next to reliable, and also have the capability of maintaining the small file storage, and it is also provides an interface and an API to the file systems here. Means if you want to access the Google file systems, what it is doing here is, it is maintaining, it is providing a coarse grained locking and reliable small file storage, which is being coupled with the that is distributed systems what you are using, which has been running in the Google data centers here. So if you want to connect to any data center, any file system, what we need is, we need an interface which is providing, that is called as the chubby here. So what's the term, what the chubby is? A chubby is the lock service here. Why we use this term here is, this system, this chubby service, or this chubby allows an user to read that as allows an system to read or write the logs of any directories or the files what you are using here. So if we are going to take into an account that what it is offering, distributed log system has been offering to take into an account. So these are the things which are being under the cloud. Sorry. If you are maintaining a node, then what the node consists of here? A node will have a big table server. What is a big table here? In previous class, we have seen what is a storage cloud we are using is Megastore, or big table will be used as a storage cloud in the Google environment. So that's why we're here. What we are using a storage service offering or the storage offering, which is the big table. And this big table, what it is doing is, it is going to provide a service to access the data structure. And then next, what are the technologies we are using for this one will be represented by the server oriented one. And also if you want to user interact with the means this one, what it has to do is nothing but it is to create the web interface what we are using here. And also we are maintaining a GFS chunk server. What it is doing, it is providing the things to be data to be available by like the blocks. And also we are having the scheduler slave. Means why it is the scheduler slave means, the master is at the cloud and it is each and every node have its own scheduler. That's why it is providing a scheduler slave here. So by using all these things, what the providers or the third party applications will do it is, it also provides an accessibility to use these GAE and build their cloud applications, and also they can provide the services to the others here. So when you deal with these Google that is app engine, what it has to know is that the building blocks we need to consider here. So what are the building blocks here? The Google app, sorry, Google file system, GFS. The GFS is stored for, so means is for locating or the storing the data here, which is the large amounts of the data. And we are having the MapReduce. Why we are using this one is to access your data, and then next to reduce means to processing all these things has to be reduced. What how many data elements you are having, all these things will be provided. And the Chubby is there. Chubby is for the log services what you are providing, and the Bigtable is for storage access, is for accessing all these things here, providing here. So all these things will have the process, and you provide the uh, environment to the user that they can run the user programs on the Google infrastructure. So if you are accessible, or if you are providing any third party environment also, it is also allowing to connect to that environment, and also means makes the things to be available here. So when you are going to environment, that is what are the programming environments supported by these GAE, here is Python and Java, and web applications are ASP, J2EE and JSP, which is a front end in an application. And we can use the web containers, that is web application containers, to run the applications in our processing. So coming to the next one, we are having modules here, functional modules of GAE. So here the functional modules of the GAE has the 5 major components here. So here what it is doing, it is not taking the infrastructure into an account. What it is providing, it is providing platform as a service only. For that one, what you are doing, it is to divide the work into that one, divide the work, and make the application, or the make the things to be run in a smooth way. That's why it has been using 5 different components, or the 5 different major components which are being evolved in this cloud environment. So in that, first one is the data storage. So this storage is offering object oriented, distributed, structured data storage services, which has been based on the Bigtable techniques, because we are using Bigtable service to store or to access your data. So here the main means problem here is to, we need to take the data management into an account to secure our data. So that's why the Bigtable techniques will help us to secure the data and the operations what you are choosing to process here. And coming to the second one, application runtime environment. So here we are, what the Google App Engine is for is, it needs to develop, it needs to provide the platform as a service here. So we need to provide some runtime environments, kits will be there, consoles will be there, all these things will occur. So for that, to provide the runtime environments, what it is doing is, it is giving Python and Java to be available with us, and also providing some web programming, scalable web programmings also, that is Ruby, PHP will also be supported by this one, and also allows an user to write their own programs to modify their things, and also to deploy into the different environments. And you want to change, or they want to take the own version, open source is there, it is also allowing an user to create their own versions when you are dealing with the softwares which are allowing the users to make their versions. And also the development languages or the Python and Java is being represented, and also they are using Ruby and PHP is also there. And coming to the third one, software development kit. So this is for the local application development. So this one you allows an user to develop its local applications, and run their applications, to test their applications, and they can upload their application code. Means you have been developing an application, and you have been running working on a project, what it is been, it is also allowing the user to take the privilege of providing your applications, developed applications, to that environment also. So you can upload your code, application code what you are using can be upload into that environment. And there is a security also, that nobody will take your code into an account. Whenever anyone is accessing your application or getting the benefits of that one, they will only have the privilege of accessing that only, but they can't monitor, that is alterations has not been, or the any updations has been done, has been applied by you only. If you want to allow any person to make the changes to your application develop, local application develop, so what they will do is that, but they will means preview, that is the privilege has been given to them that you can choose the another one. And coming to the next one, fourth one, administration console. Here in this administration console, we need to take care of the development cycles here. Means we need to take what are the any physical resources or these not required here. What we need to do here is any software or the cycles what you are using. What the any you are gathering a software requirement phase is there, you are analyzing your data, all these things developments, it will completely concentrate on the user applications development cycle. And coming to the last one, GAE web service infrastructure. So here this provides the special interface which is being flexible to use and manage the network and the storage resources of the GAE web service infrastructure. In this one we are including the network resources and also the storage resources which has been used by the GAE. And we are on this infrastructure, this component provides a an interface will make you to use this flexibly, and you can manage the resources what it are for the storage and then next network resources. Apart from this, what it is doing is user is allowing the deploying their applications, and also it is allowing to be done on the top of the cloud infrastructure, and also building your data by using some programming languages also. And if you compare with these other one, what it is, Azure is providing only .NET here, and if you are having another one, that is Amazon. Amazon, what it is doing is it is having the infrastructure as a service only, but it is not providing that is IAS and the PAS completely is not provided by the Amazon here. But compared with the GAE and the next Azure, what it is doing infrastructure. While Google offers the tools, software tools, programming environments to run with that one, and also take the access of privilege of accessing all these things. So coming to the applications, what are the applications of the Google? Google search engine, Google Docs, Google Earth, Gmail, Google Sheets, all these things will come into account when you are dealing with these applications here. So whatever we will see will be provided and will be accessed here. So now we will see how we are accessing our, in previous class I have shown some some examples here. If you see, this is the data center example here. Have you seen in different movies, or we are represented this type of one. So here if you see, this is this complete where I am pointing, this is the complete representation of the data centers what we are using here. So in these data centers, what we are choosing, we are accessing the things to be done, and then processing the things. We are storing that one. We are not simply maintaining a server here. We are taking more than things to be available here. So this is a simple example of your processing here. So coming to the Google Cloud. So here in this Google Cloud environment, so first we will see why we are using the cloud. You will know that to store the data, to access that one, to process all these things into come into an account, all these things will has to be considered when you are dealing with a Google Cloud. So here, what are the products it is providing? So the products it is providing here are it is using the virtual machines running in the Google engine. So compute engine. So it is giving the computing engine environment. So here what it is doing, so here it is providing the environments which is being run with the it is E2, N1, and these are the machines which is using, and then memory can be optimized, accelerations can be optimized here, and these the things has to be provided, and easy integrations will be there. Scale globally as needed, that is get more value of your processing. In yesterday class you have seen the pricing, how we are going to pricing these things into so who are the customers or who are processing all these things? We came to know these things. So we have seen these examples here. So here in this environment, we are seeing Google Cloud customers here. The home, PayPal, retail, and HSBC. These are the financial, healthcare. Because if you see, it is not concentrating on the one environment. If you see this one, this is the retail one. This is the financial one, this is the retail one, and also it is supporting the financial one. This is the healthcare. All these things will come into an account when you are processing. So here we are having different regions here. Why it is maintaining the different regions means we are to the data centers what you are processing has to be considered, and the different data centers also there. So what are the data centers, sorry, in industries also there. So these are the different industries we are using. So if you want to know about the education, so education, so here if you see, these are the things which are providing or which are using these app engine tools. Using the build creator, here is the tools using the app engine, compute engine, Firebase, and the Potter engines. What here, that is book creator, Canberra book schools, and the classcraft. Also all these things will come into an account when you are dealing with these things. So these are all using the things that we are having. The educational institutions are using the benefits of the cloud, and also providing these things to be, means here it is not using app engine. If you see this one, it is using the G Suite. In previous class session I have shown what is the G Suite, what are they offering. All these things will come into an account when you are accessing. If you want to only know about the agriculture, agriculture is also an important. So that's why what it is doing, it is using AgroStar, using Trevor Agri Services, Tomato, and then next Gamaya. These all the things what you are preferring when you are, means it is not supported by one environment only. It has been supported by the multiple environments and multiple things when they consider. And also in the food, beverages, health services, life sciences, government, in this government sector also it is providing. All these things will come into an account when you are dealing with these things. So here, so these are the several examples where we are using the Google Clouds, and these are the customers who are using and who are benefiting with this one, and also getting the possibility of accessing and allowing an user to provide to multiple things. So here, how many companies trust are the so here eight telecommunications, and then 7. So these are the trusting factors what we are using here. They are being considered for the trust factors what they are processing, and these are the many. These are commonly we are specifying who are getting the benefits of using this one. You know, the Nintendo, and then next Vodafone, and the PayPal, Johnson and Johnson, FedEx, Twitter, and Spotify. Forbes is there, and you also know that LG, any other, many are there. Bloomberg, Discovery, all these things will come into an account when you are dealing with this thing. So if you are want to know how many regions, cloud regions you are having, or the 24 cloud regions are there, and it has been used in these 73 zones, and it is providing an user to take the access of that 144 network edge locations, and also is available in 200 plus countries. This is the geographical representation of this one. If you see this blue color representations are there, Nama. So the blue color representations are used for, so the blue color representation here is used for the current regions with the 3 zones. So it is having the 3 zones with the network, and you are having two different lines, the current network and the submarine cable investment. So multiple feature regions, with feature regions means they are not being installed. They are being the process of installing or the process of the. So all these things will come into an account. We are also having things, that is data center availability here, and we are accessing the things to be done when you are having the possibility of processing. And also what are the challenges we are having, and how it is going to provide all these things will be there. It has been provided using if you see the different examples in that one, data management and the database here there. So here the solutions is here, we want to migrate the database. So the database migration has to be done with you. What it has to do here is we need to take this come into an account. So here the strategies, what are the strategies, because why these people present all these things into this one here is they want to know, because if you are simply accessing or getting the cloud here before knowing all these things, what it is doing, it is providing the benefits, key features, watches, documentations on all these things with you, to take the privilege of introducing themselves, that we are providing all these things. We have been it is providing the studies, case studies, and also providing some who are with them also. These are the partners, partners who are with them. So how they are accessing all these things will come into an account when you are dealing with these things. And also it has the guidelines for the migrations, means how we are going to migrate. I want to migrate my SQL to the cloud SQL. How I am going to do here is, it is providing a tutorial here, and it is giving the ability to take the things to be done by us, because it is migrating many things to that one. So it is not having the cloud SQL, it is not only having the cloud SQL, it is also providing the cloud spanner, and then next SQL cloud to the server what you are choosing, and then next Oracle environment, also PostgreSQL environment also. All these things will come into an account, will allow you to take these process of things to be an. So here we are these are the regions. So we have the regions. So here we are the many regions here. So I'm taking some Asia Pacific here. So I want to know what are the partners, or who are the partners located nearly to that one. What are the specializations we are having, expertise. So here we are receiving software. So what are the specialization they are having is machine learning, infrastructure, IoT, cloud migration, data analysis. And what if they are using for they are using for the digital authority, which has been operated on the cutting edge of the technology. And also they will have the transforming, accelerating, and optimizing the enterprise and the software what you are using. So here what it is providing, it is using the product that is the CloudForm, and where it is situated here is the Netherlands, Germany, United States, United Kingdom, Singapore, and the Sweden. If you see the first example, so here in this example we are using the Sears. So this Sears is a what it is doing is yes, beyond consulting technology is provided. What it is doing is, it is analyzing and providing the businesses and advanced data services to them. And what it is doing, what it is specializations here, it is giving the location based services and infrastructures, work transformations, expertise, all these things. What are the what it is expertised here is Google Map platforms, media, entertainment, marketing, all these things when connected. Why I choose this example is, this example has been situated, or that this has been used in India also. So this is a center what it is providing by India also. And also we are choosing another example here, which is a Servian. So the Servian, the Servian what you are represented here is completely for the data analyzing. Data analyzing here is, we need to do the computations. That's why we are using Google Compute, and we can use the AI to build and use the applications format we are having, and it is providing the platform which is the enterprise search. And what are the products it is given by the, what it is involving here is using G Suite, Google Map platforms, professional things, and also providing the some service organizations here, which has been situated in India also. It has been used in location where it is situated, or the way it has been processed is Australia, United Kingdom, India, and then New Zealand. So these are the things what we are having. Shivami, that is cloud accents, all these things will come under. So if you see this one, Pluto 7 Businesses Solutions Private Limited is completely uh, belongs to the India only. It is completely concentrating on the retail services or the wholesale services what you are having. And the Agile Labs or that is JCP Labs is there. So what it is doing here is, it is providing the solution to access all these things. So these are the several things what you are having, where it is located. Dataflix is India. So we are using the Google Cloud platforms and providing these things into that one. So if you want to know about the partner directory, you can know, you can see these. What is the keyword you want to search, or the located near will be know by here. So that's about the partner directory we are having. So we are migrating. These are the things. What are the things we are including here is the many things will be used. Deploy ready to go solutions and start using all these things will come into an account. When you are able to access a Google Cloud, it is also allowing to access up to some free extensions will be there, and it is processing all these things. Why we need to use this Google? Why need to use this Google Cloud Map means? So here we are using, it is providing infrastructure, and it is also providing things to be done by you. It is having the possibility of accessing. So here the data centers what you are using are the secure, efficient, and the data centers. If you see, this is the diagram of a data center. So it is that is, it's a means a very big as a stadium you can consider, meaning it is providing 24 by 7 services. So to maintain all these things, we need to take the cooling sectors, and we need to maintain all these things. So sustainability built in, because we are using panels, that is we don't using no any electricity to means waste that one. We are using the solar panels when you are taking into an account. That is a zero sustainability of that one, and high availability is there. These are being connected to that, like that one, to take the presence of that one when it has been one has been not installed. It is a highly secure. If you see camps and all, sorry, my server has disconnected. Wait for a while. Likewise, we are using multiple things to be done, and we are providing things to be accessible by the others. And coming to the next one, that is the Amazon Web Service. So here, um, in this Amazon Web Service, we are going through the it is providing the on-demand cloud computing. The Amazon Web Service is completely concentrating on the infrastructure as a service only. Okay, so the things what you are using, it is providing the pay as you go. While it is supporting the infrastructure as a service, means it is a foundation for PAS and also foundation for the SAS, and it is allows the end user to provide, to take the privilege of accessing things to be done in a manner, and also making the things to be available with us in a simple manner, and it is allowing the a concept called the elasticity here. So here, if you see this one, the diagram here, this is the infrastructure which is using that is elastic computing cloud, and also the elastic block storage for processing, and also it is taking the server queue, that is the storage queue service into an account, and also taking and maintaining simple database for processing, and it is taking the S3 into an account. S3, if you see the underneath, you are having the one rack structure. In this rack structure, we are using S3 representation here. What is this one is the simple storage. In the previous session we are having simple storage service is there. So all these things has been included for that one. So if you see this diagram, in this diagram, the EC2, this EC2 is the Elastic Compute Cloud EC2. This EC2 provides the virtualized platforms here. For whom it is providing is, it is providing the host, and it is giving the virtual machines where the cloud applications can run here. So the cloud applications which has been developed by the these which has been used at the Amazon cloud and AWS, and what they are doing is they are providing an environment to be used by the host by using the virtual machines. And it is also having the simple service there, that is the S3. What is the S3 here doing is, it is providing the object oriented storage for the users here, and it is providing another storage service here, that is the EBS. So which is the block storage interface which can be used for supporting these traditional applications here. And also it is using the SQS means simple queue service. So it is used to take these message services has to be done between the multiple servers. Now that's why it is taking these things to be done. So that's why there is a green line, so then all these things are connected to that one and processing the things into to be happen in that way. And also it is allowing the users that any processes are not running anything, any means if you want to send this server or this processors want to communicate with others, but this server is not available now. What it is doing, it is specifying that it will take the messages from this server, and it makes available the messages to this one when it is having means it is not idle or keep running like that. So this allows the users to be means SQL allows the user that not to wait for the other processors to be process or to be wait for that one. What it is doing is, it is simply allowing SQS means simple queue service. Queue servicing here is, so it is taking the messages to be queued and it will deliver that messages to that process when they are being available here. And what are the means browsers, or the what are the means standards they are using, the SOAP standards they are using here. And while coming to the simple DB means we are when you are this is the one type of the service provided by the AWS. So what it is doing is, if you want to take the simple DB to with you, means only the database will be used for you for current processing. If you want to take these means store the high amount of the large amount of the data, and it is your database is not supporting that one, what we need to do here is we need to go for the EBS here. This elastic block storage will help us. So there will be the group of the people who is looking after this auto scaling. The simple database what you are choosing will be auto scaled, and it will be converted into the EBS, and you have the privilege of accessing your block storage also. So how it is come to access and how it is going to do here is, it is providing the more flexible cloud computing platform for the developers, because they allow an user to build their cloud computer applications. If the means the users or the developers may be a small or the big companies or the medium sized companies, because they need to put the businesses to be run on that one without installing anything. So by that, what it is doing is allowing the processing of all these things to be done from its own end, and it is differing from the Google here, because it is not allowing anything to be done in a simple manner. And also having the possibility of the accessing the load balancing also. The load balancing will be automatically adjusted by using the ELB, elastic load balance here. So here what it is doing is, it is distributing the incoming application traffic to the many instances here. So why it is maintaining the multiple things here is, it is giving the developer is giving the program, it is taking the program into an account that is giving to the multiple instances of the EC2. EC2 here is we are having is giving multiple instances to that one. That's why we are specifying that as a server here, and these are the continuously executing all these things. If any process has been done, or if they want to discuss or they want to communicate with each other, that's why they have been connected to the SQS here. And the user what they are doing is, they will give the things to be done by that one. When we are using the Amazon AWS, Both these auto scaling and ELB are enabled because we need to take into an account that is where we need the auto scaling or we don't know. That is why by CloudWatch. CloudWatch is a group of people, or the is a functionality what you have to enable. By taking the CloudWatch into enabling, what it is doing is it is have the ability to monitor the running instances what you are having. So CloudWatch means it will be in taking the probability of accessing all these things and come to know what is the current situation of that one. If any scalability is needed to the processors or to any storages, all these things will come into an account by the CloudWatch. So how we are creating the CloudWatch here is this is a web service. The CloudWatch is a web service which has been provided by the AWS cloud resources, which has been started with the EC2 only. And it also provides the user to take the visibility of the resource utilization, operationals they have been performed, and the patterns what they have been used, any metrics has been there. All these things will come into account when you are taking into a basis here. And apart from this thing, the AWS offers RDS, that is a relational database service, which is having the interface of the messaging here. So, and also it is doing the elasticity map reduce capability, which is have the capability of running all these things into the big data environment, that is the Hadoop environment. So this ABS allows an user to import or export large volumes of data from EC to EC2 also. Means if you want to store these means the data to and fro from these EBS, and you also allowing easily, and it's not taking a much more time. There is no need to maintain the physical disk here. If you want to, for example, you are processing an application here, the from data is situated here, there you can the data can be easily transmitted to this one without any processing or without any problematic situation here. And also we are having a tabular representation. What is the service area here and how it is offering these modules to be done. For example, computing is your area. It is better to use these EC2, Elastic MapReduce, and the auto scaling. These are the modules it is providing to process for the messaging, SQS, SNS, for the storage, S3, EBS, and the AWS import and export, and for content delivery only to they give the data. What it is doing is giving the Amazon CloudFront. For monitoring, CloudWatch is there, support premium support, database, simple DB, and then RDS. All these things will be coming to an account when you are dealing, because it will be decided by the things what you are using. Means we are simply using one cloud platform. It's not the basic idea. What you have to do is nothing but it has been decided by the cloud platforms what you are using. And coming to the next one, what you are using here is the Microsoft Azure here. So here the Microsoft Azure, when it was developed, was developed in 2008. So this what it has been designed is to meet the challenges what we are facing in the cloud computing platform. So here this has been developed by using the Microsoft data centers here. If you see this diagrammatical representation, this is the overall structure of the Microsoft cloud platform. This platform has been divided into three major component platforms here. That is one, if you see three different representations are there, and three different representations in the Azure server service platform only, they have been divided into the two one. So here this platform what they are doing has been built on the Windows operating system, and is also using the virtualization technology of the Microsoft. And these what are the applications what you are installed on these virtual machines could be easily deployed onto the data center services or servers of the Microsoft. And it has the capability of managing the server storage, network resources, and the data centers responsibilities easily. If you see the diagrammatical representation, you have on the top infrastructure is being specified, and also it is have the capability of providing these things to be done here. So here various services are provided for building the different cloud applications here, and we are also having some cloud level services also. In the next slide we will discuss this one. So first see these user applications here. What the user applications it is providing is a Windows, Office, Exchange, the SharePoint, Dynamics CRM, all these things. So the Microsoft Windows, all these things what are they doing, it is providing the live, and it is allowing an user to take the privilege of accessing here. And the second layer here is the Azure Service Platform layer. So here it is providing the live services online, and it how to look after the live services and take care of the services. Any updations has to be done, any problem has been read, error has been read, what it has to do is nothing but it has to take care of all these things in a keen manner. And it is as I said, the programming environment set by these are provided by this Microsoft. Here is the .NET, and we have the capability of the storing the SQLs also, that is processing the database, and it is providing the SQL service to take the SharePoint and the Dynamics CR services. These things will be take care of the processing online applications and take the things to be available with us. And coming to the Windows Azure environment, we are having the environment that is computing the services and storage services and development environment. Computation has been done, what the computation they are doing, what the things they have to provide, all these things will be used by this compute service. And the storage service, you want to develop a application, you need the data to be stored here. So regarding from these things, what you have to do is nothing but it has to take the keen observation of the application developing, and it has to store the data what you are having. Under class, we have the development environment, which is apparently .NET service only. So apart from this, we are having the Windows Azure controller. What it is doing is it is taking care of all these services to be done, and it is providing the scheduler and all these things to be done in a manner. And we have a hardware platform which is having the servers and storage and the networks to be done here. And we are having the cloud level services with us which are being provided by the Azure. One is the live service. So services means they are being in the user applications there nama user applications there are the live service .NET services there na, all these services are there. So this what it is, this for the live service is the an user can have the privilege of visiting the Microsoft live applications, and they can apply the data involved that one, and can we execute these data on the multiple machines simultaneously. And the data net services .NET services is there. The .NET services here is the this service provides the development support, that is a package support will be means given to that application to be for what we are giving is there is no need to install these packages or these softwares onto your database. What it is doing, it's simply giving an opportunity to take the privilege of accessing the packages and allow an user to develop their applications on their local host and executions on cloud missions. Means they can develop on local host, and the executions will be done on the cloud missions here. And coming to the SQL Azure, this is completely used for the easy users to take these relational databases with the coming to an account, because they can connect with the SQL server and take the means the privilege of accessing the means EBMS for operations, data management systems. All these things will be done. And coming to the SharePoint service, this is completely for the scalable and manageable platform, because this is also for the business people. That's why what they are doing is they are providing the multiple services to be scalable here. That's why the special applications which are for the business only, you will use this SharePoint service, and it is being upgraded by the web services continuously. And coming to the last one, CRM services, this being provided by the provided for the software developers, because they will use the platform today means to take these retail management, that is computer retail management will be done. So what these applications will involve here is the financing, marketing, sales, and any promotions, any ad or anything. All these things will come into account when you are dealing with these things and processing one. So that's about today's class. These are the public clouds we are having, and what are the services they are providing, and how they providing these services, and what is the structure they are using, architectures, all these things has been covered. Thank you.